Peace. This is a meat and potato sorcery production starring myself, the Water Alchemist, and today's topic for the occult family is immortality. Does it have its price? Well, it depends on the perspective that you're coming from, but I want to tackle a few key points. The first point is this: immortals are not born. No one's born an immortal. Immortals are made. So that's the first thing that I want to emphasize and clear up any misconceptions. They're made. How are they made? Well, basically it depends on what you did in your human existence. And if it touched the gods and goddesses, what they would do is they would give you immortality as a gift. And if you read a lot of myths, especially Greek myths, you will see this. They would either give you immortality or they would make you a god or a goddess. You can see that in the case of Hercules. Now, immortals, the thing about them is that how it works is that the gods and goddesses decide, but do they get input from angels and demons? Yes, they do. They get input. So depending on what you do, that's how you become one. Now, what's the downside of immortality? The downside is this: you're going to outlive pretty much a lot of your family members, unless they do something and they're made immortal. But you're going to outlive probably your wife, not probably, your wife, your husband, your great grandchildren, their line, which began with your children. And immortals, when they mate with a human, that person usually is a human. That's how it works. So it's not going to be like, oh, I was with this mortal woman and I had a immortal child, or this child like this. It doesn't work like that. That's entertainment. I hate to break that to people, but that's entertainment. And also, immortality is never used as a curse. You have a lot Hollywood movies and a lot of theater that say, okay, sometimes immortality can be given as a punishment. No, it's not given as a punishment. And I like movies too. What was true, a 1966 episode of Thor, where Thor basically was begging Odin to make Jane Foster into an immortal. And one thing that Odin said, and Odin can be difficult sometimes, Odin said, what has she done so fantastic for me to give her that type of a gift? Thor couldn't even say nothing. Like, yeah, technically she ain't really, she was a nurse, but what did you do that went above and beyond the call of duty that would touch the heart and the emotions of the gods? Couldn't name one thing. So that's something else to think about. And imagine this, even it says in the so-called Bible where it was giving you this disclaimer: knowledge can increase sorrow. Imagine if you were around during the time of certain revolutions, uprisings, Hitler, what happened in Tulsa, Oklahoma, the Garvey movement, the occult revival, Malcolm X. You get to see all this. And yet, you can't change someone's fate. So there is a flip side to immortality. It is. So like I said, they're not born, they're made. And if you want some introspection, you can check the Akashic records, or if you're working with a particular spirit, do your channeling. Ask them. Now, everyone doesn't want to do that because everyone's not prepared for certain answers. And I know how that works. Just like when you ask angels, angels will tell you. Demons, if you get close to them, they'll tell you. Now, if you work with these gods like Aphrodite, Venus, Athena, Minerva from, the Roman pantheon, they'll tell you too. It's just, are you prepared for such revelations? So only you can decide that. So with that, that is your meat and potato sorcery for the day. I am the Water Alchemist. Be water, my friends. Peace.